to March's conversation. Every day is Black Mental Health Day. And today we have Dr. K. Dr. Carissa is going to lead us in a conversation about unlearning urgency and how important it is for us as Black providers to rest and regulate our own emotions. So I will hand it over to Dr. Carissa.
Yay! How exciting. Y'all, they just wanted me to lead it today. That's all that was.
We did. We took a vote. We did.
So yes, we're unlearning urgency, something the Black community is all too well aware of. Urgency shows up just all of the time for us. And so this is a really good topic to have everybody weigh in on because as therapists who are Black people, we experience urgency just like everybody else experiences urgency. And we've had to learn how to self regulate and kind of break through barriers that urgency has placed in our lives through generations and then kind of unlearning that stuff so we could be successful in the ways we wanted to. So I just want to start with some definitions for everybody so we're all on the same page. So defining urgency, we know that in the dictionary it says a pressing need or a situation that requires immediate attention or action. It carries a sense of importance, pressure, or insistence. And so this urgency it requires constant responsiveness. It requires a lot of pressure for productivity, especially in the world we live in, especially economically, and the expectation of over availability. So like extending yourself past your capacity. And so we want to also have the opposite of urgency, right? Which is therapeutically like regulation, right? We want to be able to frame urgency as a thing, but also know like we can regulate that urgency. And that's nervous system stability, pacing ourselves, protecting our capacity, and like what that means. And so we're constantly taught through urgency survival for especially Black folks. Like those things go hand in hand, right? And as we talk, y'all, I'm sure you have personal experiences, client experiences where urgency shows itself in the healing process. And so urgency shows up in Black culture historically, right? For generations, we had to be quick. We had to respond to danger, whether it was real or not. Physically, socially, economically, we had to constantly survive, and urgency was our friend for a really long time. Collective responsibility. So many Black families and communities socialize people to move with urgency when others depend on them, right? So others are depending on you, you better get going. Respectability and performance pressure. Emotional intensity can often trigger that urgency to regulate or to contain or to like get it together quickly because we don't ever want to be seen as less than. We need respect. We need performance, productivity. And as Black folks, if we're already behind the eight ball, we need to make sure that we are never seen as not respected. Code switching and emotional translation. We've talked a little bit about code switching, I think, before, but in the context of urgency, we often as Black people feel the urgency to like shift our tone if something feels off, to shift our expression so we're not seen as like, for Black women, it's like the angry Black woman. We don't want to be perceived as that. Or like there's maybe presentation to stay safe. We have to code switch in order to kind of like fit in. Inherited emotional vigilance. So without being explicitly taught, like nobody says to us, right? Like you need to move with urgency. Many Black people learn to scan for threat. We learn to very quickly read the room. We're really quick to anticipate harm, whether it's real or not. Um, but that takes a lot of emotional and mental energy. And so we need to make sure that we understand that urgency isn't just a feeling, it's culturally shaped for survival. For Black bodied people specifically, it is culturally shaped for us to survive. So now that we're all on the same page,
Are we?
yeah, we are. And don't act like you can't read what I see. Don't be,
I'm
don't be
sorry.
doing that. Or see what I'm reading. See, I'm saying stuff backwards. So first kind of question, when did you first notice urgency showing up in your professional life?
Ooh, my professional life. You know what? I would say for me, it was when I graduated undergrad and went into community mental health. They have a culture where you have to see X amount of clients
Oh yeah.
a day. You have to hit certain metrics, and if you don't, then you're on a performance improvement plan. And there's not really a lot of grace given there. Um, you may have like a ramp up when you first get there, but that's about as much grace you get in community mental health. And so I feel like that's kind of in professional life when I started learning there's an urgency to how you treat people, how you work, the expectations that's you need to have when you have these jobs.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I think that's for me was when I first learned it.
So like right out of undergrad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I co-signed that one as well, because I also went straight into community mental health immediately after grad school, and they do have quotas. I'm just gonna say they got quotas. You got to see a certain
Yeah.
amount of people. Got to see them for a certain amount of time. And I said they're trying to get these units for Medicaid purposes, and this shit got to be in. You got to be in order. They check in your notes. They make oh, you can't bill for that. Got to don't say that. Got to say this, and then on top of that, there's this like on call. So we had this thing called where you're on call, where like after hours, people can reach out to you. You're expected to kind of show up if it's necessary. It was a whole lot of now on their time, and if you don't, somebody's going to be in the hospital.
I just had a visceral reaction to that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
go ahead there. I was about to say, for me, I think it's when I started my 3,000 hours for my licensure.
Ooh.
Listening to the definition that you gave and listening to the examples that we are giving, mine was because I started working and counting my hours working in the mental health hospital at Dallas Behavioral Hospital, and then Saturday and Sunday I worked for Dallas County Juvenile Department, and I was the only clinician there throughout the entire weekend. And then on Monday, I go in and give updates. So like all the clinicians that wasn't in the main building, they left notes and things for me to check on these clients, and I had to check on all of them. Write my notes just to keep up. And after I got on full time with Dallas County and left Dallas Baptist, um, where I'm currently at now, still with Dallas County Juvenile Department at Youth Village, which is a placement, the caseload was high and always high. Like, hey, we need you to see all your clients within a week, and you have like 20 clients. Oh, but you can't pull them out of school though, or you can only pull them out of certain classes. It's been a real
Yeah.
horse.
yeah.
And even now, even though the numbers went down, But even like in my private practice, having contracts with having certain contracts where they might be, I'm gonna say, customers first instead of providers first. So they want you to see the clients, they want you to hit this, they want you to do this, and it's like I'm constantly going. I still work till this day. I still work like Monday through Saturday, and sometimes if I want to, I work Sunday. So I'm kind of still learning and getting better at it, taking off when I need to, um, saying no, I can't do that, or no, I won't do that. But I think it started getting those 3,000 out because I was done with mines working every single day. I think I was done with my 3,000 hours probably within like 6-7 months.
Dang.
Yeah, that's a lot. Also, one quick question. I heard you. Oh, my fault.
No, go ahead.
I heard you say that when you want to, you'll work a Sunday. Has there actually been a Sunday that you wanted to work?
Yeah, when football's not playing and I don't got to watch the Cowboys playing football season, I'm planning on watching. But what I have learned though, spiritually, I need the rest because I believe I heard one of us say, or I definitely had a friend say that mental health is also a spiritual thing, and so my spirit needs the rest for all that I have endured and taken. So I haven't been doing Sundays for probably the last year and a half.
Wow.
So
just Sunday?
Yeah, I went Thursday too.
You gotta start somewhere. Hey, listen,
you gotta start somewhere. You gotta start somewhere. So, but I have worked it out to even with my job on Fridays, I see all my clients now. It has lowered. I see all my clients, and then Friday I go in. I'm just doing notes and I'm getting them out the way. So Saturday, just my morning time. I still have my Saturday for my private practice, and then Sunday. So
that's real.
Yeah.
I want to jump in kind of on his because mine is kind of like a 2-layer urgency I ran into. So that 3,000 hours was one because I had my little job, I was teaching, I was fine, I had been doing that for years, and I decided I'm gonna just quit and jump into this counseling thing. So I got a job at a little mental health hospital, right? Less money than I was making, and I remember when I started, and they was like, "Yeah, we get 4 days off for the year." I'm like, 4 days for the year? I get summer, spring break, fall break, winter break. And I was like, 4 days off and I'm making less money? So I was like, nah, I got to hurry up and get my hours. So from there, then I got another job at a group practice. I was doing both of them. Then I started at a T-Chat. It's it's like for school age kids for telehealth services. So I did that and I worked in the evenings. So it's like urgency, rushing. Let me get fully licensed. 18 months is up, fully licensed. All right, bet I'm about to chill. Did that happen? Nope. It's a whole nother level of urgency. It turned into all right, cool. Now I'm about to open my own practice. Now I got to get it. And honestly, I think sitting with my own therapist I'm crashing out, man, I got to do this. Kind of laughing at me, bro, you already have accomplished that much? And he was telling me stories when he was driving across Texas with 300,000 miles on his car to make $20 because virtual didn't exist when he started. So he was doing all these things. So I'm like, all right. So I kind of I haven't settled down. Actually, it's still urgent. Yeah, I'm still rolling in it right now. But I think I'm on the other side of it. I'm not at the...
Yeah, I was gonna say there is the other side of it too, especially when you own your own your own practice.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, part of the other side. I think you're way closer than not.
Yeah, as I reflect, because I'm looking back now, but as I reflect, it's no, I'm not stressed. I'm okay. I'm on the other side of it. So
yes.
He waiting for this podcast so he can go do some more stuff.
Facts.
I said some folks waiting for the podcast in so we can do more stuff.
Facts.
For me, I think each one of you kind of touched on a real reality for me as well. But I think a lot of that happened before because I was already doing social work type of jobs already. So I was already in those type of positions, working with families, working with individuals, and they had quotas. And depending on who the CEO was, then the business model would change. I mean, the business model would change, and then they would start acting like it's a business and not a people-centered profession. And so then the weekends would go away, the overtime would go away. You can't be in the office past a certain time, so then it put a lot more restrictions on what you had to do in order to get time frame and to get that stuff done. So yeah, but I think a lot of that stems, from the home as well. It just carries over into these professions. So I think a lot of that, it's not new. You know, I think we're all part of that grind of always got to go get it. Uh, it got to come fast, and you got to do it right, and you got to do it better than the next man. So I think a lot of that is ingrained in us.
Yeah, that's Carissa. What was the second one you had said? It was like responsibility. Oh, I thought you had a list.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
It was like
Collective
was like
responsibility.
Collective responsibility.
collective responsibility. When you said that, that stood out to me, and kind of just what Terry was saying, because it's like that. I always felt like you got to go get it. You got to go get it. You got to go get it. But that ain't normal. That's like some black shit because we feel like we got to get somewhere. We feel like we got to get somewhere because nobody before me owned their own business. Nobody
Yep.
before me did that. So I have like this responsibility to be like, I have to achieve. And that's kind of where I found myself at times.
And that's added pressure too, especially if you're the first one in your family to actually do and achieve a professional level and start making some money. Then that's that added pressure too, because they're going to bring stuff to you.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
like,
yes, they
as
will.
Black men, like being in this field, which is heavily like white women as a whole, how is that how is that different, if at all? Like being a Black man with that urgency to do well for your family or for yourself, in relation to like generational urgency.
Mm.
That's a great
First
question.
off, in this field, I don't know the answer to that, but first off, in this field, I know more black men than white
Really?
women. I work with more black. Look at the screen right now.
You're
I know these guys.
Nah,
Yes.
hold on. You a
I was gonna say, yeah. I was gonna say women. Everyone I see mostly black women. I definitely know way more black men than you did. I feel like it's typical, but in general, I
It's
feel like it's a
four of
black
us
woman
here.
dominated.
I worked at another practice that had three men at it, three black men. So my whole
Where are
experience.
you?
It's geographical, right?
Freaking utopia
Yeah.
therapy? Where do you
Nah,
live
I
at?
just I put my tunnel vision on and I find my people.
Well, I think
Listen,
that is
hey,
interesting.
that don't even
That's an
work. I'm in
interesting point, though. That kind of lends to the question I just asked because
Mm-hmm.
it's
Okay.
about how you set yourself up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
has to be
just from my
intentional.
experience in this. Yeah,
Well,
it's I met Brandon. I just the people I've been meeting has been black men. So clearly we're not alike on the grand scale, but like we're powerful as a unit if we all do
Yes,
that.
but
but
I
I think
also you're LPC.
Yeah. Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm
Where
not
do
social
you
worker.
have a different perspective as a social worker?
Probably.
are you asking me a question or you made a statement?
Like, no, I'm asking a question. Like, as a social worker, because me as a social worker, when I was in school and in my classes, there was nothing but white women up in there.
Oh,
Well,
I was the only black man in my classes.
I think I was actually
Same.
blessed because I actually graduated with close to 5 or 6 black men in my social work
That's really
field.
good.
So they said my class was really kind of exceptional. So shout out to WSU. Um, but yeah, I think Jonathan's situation, y'all in Texas. I'm in
Yeah, we in
Kansas.
Houston, man. This is the whole thing. They had a whole spring break is now in Houston for whatever reason. So it's
Yeah.
a
That's
whole
right. I was
thing
like, when
down
they
here.
did that, they lost the spot
Yeah,
on that.
I've
For
been in
real,
Houston
Oh yeah,
forever.
you
it
in
is.
Kansas, so yeah, he's swimming
So
in
I'm
the
in
milk, so to
Kansas.
speak.
I'm in Kansas. There ain't no tunnel vision, right? So
There ain't no tunnel.
yeah. So,
Mm.
in Kansas is
More
14%
like a straw.
black and brown here, and then
Mm.
as a black male practitioner, I'm less than 5%. So there's not a whole lot of tunnel there, bro. Um,
Mm.
I'm a good
We're
point.
probably small. I wonder what the percentage is. I feel like it's intentional. All the things we're doing. Every day is Black Mental Health Day. We got men. I don't know. I think it's intentional.
But I do reach out. I do a good job of reaching out to and trying to connect to the brothers in my space. There's a handful of us, but I do engage and we do collaborate on certain things, and we do send each other clients, and I think that is intentional on my part to make sure that I do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
I
As
agree.
we're kind of like talking, the next kind of part of this is linking like Western culture with urgency. And so, like, Western culture, we're often just tied to speed and productivity and constantly being available and responsive. And it kind of goes back to when Brandon was talking about being on call. Like, as a social worker, if you worked a job prior to being a therapist, you probably were on call at whatever mental health facility you were at. I'm assuming that that's probably most people that worked in community mental health. But like,
Mhm.
and it's interesting to me that we put people, essentially on call is reactive,
Yes.
right? Like having an on call person is reactive instead of being proactive, which would never, do well for a capitalistic society. But like proactiveness is what we're missing a lot of the times in our field. But it's also has to do with what is called urgency culture. So we kind of, I think Black people call it hustle culture, but whatever. But I guess, but we often at my practice, we often have to talk clinicians kind of off a ledge of like, you don't have to do all that here. Like, but it very much instilled in us as Black people. So, like, the next question is, what messages did you receive about work and worth growing up, or even now in adulthood? Because one of the examples is like, you, as a Black person, you don't get the luxury of being average.
This is true.
Real
So,
fact.
like, what other things have you, like, do you connect to work and worth as a Black person?
I
You
think
know,
that I let you, I was going to speak from a male perspective because I think that you know if you haven't been taught that from another male, a black man in the home, then you don't really or you're not able to separate your worth from your work. And I think a lot of men really do get tied to pursuing the accolades as a indication of their worth. We kind of get tied in that. So a lot of men have issues being able to separate their work from the work that they do. Sometimes I do ask them like, "Hey, well, what do you do? What do you like?" You know, and they just kind of tell me one thing, and that's like, okay, well, who are you outside of that? Do you have an identity outside of your work? And I think a lot of men really do struggle with some of that, and I think I did at one point,
Absolutely.
right? But I think, especially male culture, black man, we tell you got to grind, you got to work. If you don't work, a man that don't work, he don't eat. We have same little religious,
Time.
same stuff that reinforce that you need to go out there and really kind of get it. And I think it really gets hard to separate that hard urgency and always trying to get it, especially as black men happen to be in spaces where there's microaggressions and there's a lot of stuff
Yep.
and systems that are in place that are put us at a disadvantage. You have to work twice as hard. You have to really go get it, and then when those systems get exposed, then they're like, oh well, you still have to go get it, right? So
Yep.
so I think it's a little different for men the experience that we have because it really into a lot of that type of mentality.
yeah. A couple of things came up for me. I'm gonna start with something close to what Terry was talking about, but the whole idea of, I know, and I hate the term right now, but high value and what that means, right? A lot of time that's connected to what you do and how much money you bring in and things like that. And so um, I feel like with our culture, it's very much connected to your work,
Yep.
how much you're making, how much money can you bring in, what
Yeah,
that's what you are offering other people. But also, it brings up for me the idea that we used to have where you're supposed to get a good job and you're supposed to retire there, right? Which is totally changing right now because a lot of us are hopping around. Entrepreneurship is huge. And so it's interesting to kind of see even our parents' generation compared to ours now, like, if you can't keep a job and a real job, right, then you're not bringing value. You're not being an upstanding citizen.
Yep.
You're not putting into the world. And so then also the idea of what a real job is, right? It's those doctors, lawyers, things like that. There's still a lot of people who are getting turned off from these helping professions like counseling, like social work,
Yep.
because they don't make enough money, which is completely false, by the way. Like, how much money you make is completely up to you, and how you're going to negotiate for your rate.
Yep.
But um, I think that that's the things that come up for me, the messages that I was taught growing up and that I continue to see.
Yeah. For sure.
I
Valid
agree.
point.
I was about to say I agree with everyone saying. Just growing up, everything that we heard has been instilled in me, and it's been coming out. But I've been getting better at it when I recognize they can't never pay me for my work.
Yep.
The work that we do, they can't pay us for it, regardless if it's a company or even if it's a contract. Even when we rate ourselves, we are literally doing mental and spiritual health, which none of these things can really be measured with all the measurements and everything in this assessment. When you really working with a client, when you take your most, I'm gonna say, traumatic client who has been through the worst of the worst, and you watch that person just counseling them, challenging them, and you watch that person transcend, they can't really pay us what our worth. And then I also recognize too, when yes, we do have to work twice as hard just to get half of what people have. But when you work so hard, I was working so twice, so I'm like a power horse at job. And when I'm on autopilot, my autopilot is like other clinicians like best work.
Yep.
And my supervisor told me, he's like, you on autopilot and you still doing everything, and that's a problem. Like, hey, you gotta take your time, breathe, figure some things out, take some days off, which I've been getting better at. So,
Paid
but when I
time
recognize,
off.
yes, yes, most definitely. But
That's
I
another
start
one.
separating myself when I start hearing specific questions like, "Who are you outside of your accolades? Who outside of you want?"
Yes.
Um, and then when I start recognizing they can't pay me what I'm worth, no way. So
Never.
Right.
Another thing, just to continue to piggyback on what everybody's saying is like what I've noticed, not only in myself but also just being a therapist and observing, is that like there's a large tie between like productivity and like quote unquote being busy. You know what I'm saying? Like that
Yes.
feeling of like I gotta be doing something. And that usually ties back to childhood because I remember I couldn't be sitting down doing nothing, like just chilling. You know what I'm saying? They'll bust the door open. Oh, you ain't doing nothing? Let me give you a task. And I think that, we grow up and now we feel like if we're not doing a task, we're failing. We're falling behind. We're not
Yep.
doing something. And that leads to the whole, like, people don't be taking PTO. Not take PTO. But a lot of people have a lot of difficulty taking that PTO because it feels like you're stealing from the company or something like that. And
That's valid.
yeah, so I just want to point out like that tie that sometimes the productivity and like being task oriented kind of go hand in hand, and feel like I got to be doing something. I can't not be done with work because I don't have anything to do. So it means I could be doing something.
Yeah. It's like, what is it? Idle hands. What is that saying?
Idle hands are the devil's
I don't,
plaything.
Yeah.
I don't
First of
mind.
all, what?
Totally, I don't mind.
I don't mind. That was
Yeah,
cool.
like, but it's also like it's okay for your mind to be idle.
She said
Like,
them
Yeah.
dang. Like,
Resetting.
yes, like the amount of clients I ask, like at a certain point, if they're complaining about a lot of stuff and a lot of stuff is happening, I'm like, do you have FMLA option at work? Like, take FMLA. Like, just take a short break so you can like collect yourself. That's what those benefits are for. A.
I think it's hard for them to accept that though if the models around them have not been doing that.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if the thing is people know they get the FMLA when they sign their paperwork when they first start, and then that just goes out the window because then that's equated to like laziness or, you know, incompetence or like whatever. But you literally work to pay into a pot that works toward FMLA so people can use it. Like, and then PTO, I'm like, you earned those hours by working. So don't work and use them because that they're not going to get used any other way.
Some people feel like if you use them and then the company hardships, they're gonna be looking at the list. Who took PTO? All right, let's get rid of them.
And did. And so if that is the way of the place that you work at, it sounds to me like you need to find a new job. And that's a privileged statement, but also a true one.
I'm glad you called that out.
Yeah.
I will call my little privilege out wherever it lands.
Both
But
can
you
be
know,
true.
like, these aren't random
Love
ass
it.
people. Like,
Yeah.
these
Sure,
are
you're right.
credentials. Like,
Yeah.
stop working for people who don't. If that's where we're at, that's sad, right? Like,
The culture.
if we can't take our own PTO that we earned, and then that's gonna nip us in the bud later. Like, goodbye. And
I think-
lawsuit.
I think Terry might have mentioned it earlier. I feel like you have to like see it or see somebody do it or be around it or something. Cause I was that way at a time in my life. I was like the guy, like I'm gonna just go to work. I'm coming to work every day. I'm never calling in. Don't know why. And I had to see it. I saw how my wife was moving when I first started dating her. When I first started dating her, she was babysitting and I was working a full-time job. And I'm like, you babysitting? What you doing? She was making more money than me babysitting. So I was like, I had to rethink how I was thinking about stuff. And then like the way she valued her time showed me like, and I used to watch her like, what the hell? She ain't got to work. So then I started like not being more lazy at work, but I learned how to like, I started taking days off. I started like not prioritizing my job or not prioritizing, I got to be to work at 7 and missing my kids' performance or something like, nah, screw y'all, I'm gonna go to the performance. But I had to learn it by someone close to me and watching them and seeing it be successful. So I think that helps.
I got a couple of follow-up questions. But first, like, also a lot of people are like, well, I don't have a lot of PTO or, you know, and this is a bigger conversation that we can visit at another time. But I think that when you're negotiating your rate, even if they don't go up on money, maybe they'll go up on PTO. So that's something that you can negotiate as well, that people don't take leverage in enough. But my second question, because it also kind of goes into like the worth and work situation, how do y'all determine like what your rate is? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like, how do you determine like how much you're going to charge for whatever, or how much you're going to, you know, what's your worth? What goes into that?
Are you talking about as entrepreneurs or are you talking about as people who are pursuing a career path?
Let's do both, right? Because I mean, we are a select few who are brave enough to go into entrepreneurship, but there's a lot of people who don't want to do this. So how do we determine what our worth is in a regular 9 to 5, and what do we determine our worth is in private practice?
Do you get to choose in a regular 9 to 5? Because they will cap you and say this is what we're giving you.
Well, and that's kind of what I was talking about, right? Like, there's usually a range that you can negotiate, but a lot of social workers, I don't know about counselors, but a lot of social workers don't. But that's also where you kind of can negotiate those benefits too, right? So yeah, you can't give me more money, but can you give me more PTO? Because you give me the same money, but I get to go do whatever I want to do with my days, right? So there's a lot that you can negotiate to kind of level that out if you wanted to.
I think you got
no training for that.
That most cultures put in there that people don't talk about their salaries, they don't talk about money,
Yep.
And so, actually, in my last position, there was actually a few of us that actually did actually come together and talk about salaries and money and what was asked. But that was in hindsight, right? So there's just not very many people who are willing to disclose because they don't want you to make more than them, and they don't want you to feel like they don't want to feel like you're going to get an upper hand. So it really is kind of that crab in the barrel type of mentality when you're talking about career and numbers and things. Because I think most of us can be honest and know that we've been around people or know people that have companies and that somebody got hired on, they got hired on more than got paid more than some of the people who were holding positions for longer periods of time.
Mhm.
So I think
That'll make you sick.
about that. And then the
Yo,
part of that is some way your worth is here. Because if you're not,
That one hit hard, Terry. Can we pause for a minute?
Yeah, I was like,
I
has
feel
that
like
happened to you?
people need to process
Bro.
that real
Flashback.
fast.
that shit happened to
You
me.
doing something? Like when you think you good, and then you find out the next man, and then you get like, wait, what? That's what y'all got? Oh no! Oh no!
Look,
They need
that
to
shit.
I done stirred some trauma.
Look, hold on, because I gotta say something on that. That shit, it wasn't. I don't know how much the other people was making, but my goodness. So I was at a job doing a great job too. I was kicking ass, right? So I was like, I had all my stuff together. I reach out like, hey, I'm just trying to see. I'm trying to get a little more money. HR was like, oh, we don't give more money, blah 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 for this shit, right? So I'm like, damn. So I just quit. I say, fuck it, I'm gonna do something else. Excuse me. I say we get PG sometime, right? So I say, I quit, right? I quit. So when I leave, the supervisor was like, basically like, yeah, man, I like. So this I knew other people was making more than me because she was just like, I don't know why you was at like that rate, like basically like that it's messed up. You was at that rate. So then I quit. So I go back online to see what the position was posted for. The minimum what it was posted for was the rate that I was making. So whoever they hired, no matter if they trash or whatever, whoever they hired was going to at least make what I was making, and I was doing a great job. So that's
And
why
I
it hit
was doing a great job. But no, yeah, I think that it's very true. And I think it's real trifling when people don't recognize that that is tied to race. Whether it's conscious or subconscious, like you can't tell me that a black man is being paid at the very low end. You didn't offer him nothing more than the low end. And then somebody comes in, hasn't been working this job, this specific job, and you give them more money, whether they negotiated it or not. If you're going to bring that person in, then you need to up this other person's stuff if they're doing well.
the only black man. That goes back to
That's
what we was talking about
exactly.
earlier. Yeah. With a
Now
whole
I don't
bunch of
trust no.
black clients though. They needed the one black man they had. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you were a token.
guess who got all the black ones? You know what I'm saying?
You were the token.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's an honor.
Now I don't trust no jobs that don't post a salary range on the thing. If you're in choice, okay, that was a conscious decision not to post a salary
Yes,
range.
it was.
And I ain't rocking with it.
Also, hours. If you don't tell me the hours, you're being weird. You're being
fair.
weird.
They want to get the most out of you with the limited amount of resources given to you.
Huh?
They want to get the most out of you with the least amount possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Because at the end of the day, it's the overhead that matters. They don't want to do too much in the overhead. They want to be able to pocket as much as possible.
yeah,
Facts.
And it's not the people you work with too. It's the higher ups. It's the
even
business
you.
people.
It's
That's
the
running
like
things.
the two levels up.
Yeah.
And they
And
don't
then
know
the
what's
people-
going on. With people that work with boots on the ground, they don't know what's going on. They too far removed to know that you're doing that excellent work.
Yep.
So
They have no idea.
They don't care. They just
No
know
idea.
numbers. Yeah.
My ex-husband used to call them in the military the good idea fairies.
Yeah.
yes, that makes perfectly good sense.
feeling
That sounds like a good idea. Trickles down to the bottom, and the people down there are like, "What the hell?"
This isn't feasible. I hate that.
That is so
I
funny.
know that. I'm taking that.
Yeah, somebody commented that they look at industry standards and the cost of their lifestyle. And then from there, they're able to determine their rates or acceptable pay from an agency.
I think when I was looking for salary wise when I graduated, because I was already working in the system that I was at, and I wanted to figure out what they were paying. I kind of went around and kind of indirectly would ask questions about some things, you know what I'm saying? Third person type of stuff, and they would give me information, and then I was able to come to grasp what I wanted, right? So then when I called back and told them, you know, I just made it up like, hey, this place offered me this. And they were like, oh, yeah, we can give you that. I was like, but I don't want that. I wanted more. And so they were like, well, we're going to have to get back to you. But I had already been killing it, already been getting awards, faces on different stuff. So they already knew that I was serious about it, and they actually approved it.
Look, because why not?
Well, yeah, we know why not, but
no, I'm talking about like why not swindle it that way?
Well, that's what I threw out there because there's no way that they could pay me my worth anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of the stuff that I'm doing is because you're leasing me, you're not owning me. And I think because we're entrepreneurs, we think differently in those spaces. I think we can point back to different points in time where I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm only here for a little bit of time, but I want to make the most that I can with this.
I hear that.
Look, so if people are listening to this, do that. Essentially, like you know, when you look at something on Amazon and you could Jeff Bezos
price match.
When you like compare to other ones, same thing. Now you just go with the highest amount and go in there and be like, well, this is what they said they were going to give me. They did it, but how did they know? What are they going to say? No, they didn't. Are you calling me a liar?
I like to see. I like to pick a number and then add like 30%.
Oh.
And then just have them talk you down. You know what I mean? Like hit them with the like, yo, I would skip and Millie rock with my mama right now if they gave me this number. Ask for that number and then have them walk you down.
Okay. Man, I worked at jobs the jobs I had in the past, like it was like set salaries a lot of times. So like I was a teacher for a minute, so it was like you go to this district, this is what we paying y'all. ain't no
That's
negotiation.
Fair. That's fair. But I ain't even learn about the negotiation thing until after the fact. You know what I mean? No one teaches you to negotiate your salary when you first coming out of the game. They try to manage your expectations. At least for me, they try to manage our expectations. Like, hey, you be lucky if you make $40K. You know what I mean? Doing this job and such and such. So first time you end up making more than that, then you gotta reevaluate. Like either they lying or they just weren't able to make that much money.
They lying.
And you gotta do it in the beginning too, or you end up in a situation like me where you come back and ask for it, and they be like, "Well, we got you at this range, so we can give you a little bit more." So you gotta get it up front.
You gotta get it. You gotta get it where you can fit in.
Yeah.
Y'all, I forgot I was supposed to be leading this for like.
My bad, y'all. I had like some. Listen, hold on, real quick. Hold on, real quick.
Okay.
Real quick. I had some coffee today. I had some caffeine, so I'm jittery. So I just want y'all to know.
You don't normally drink coffee?
I don't know. It's in all I got it. I don't know. I'm a little more jittery.
Caffeine right now. You'll be all right, girl.
It's all right.
Yeah,
I may or may not have filled this.
Yeah, I'm out here like I feel like I'm.
What kind of coffee?
But inside, I'm like juiced up right now.
Okay. Yeah, I see them eyes moving, my boy.
Let me answer all the questions. That's fun.
Yeah, so I just don't want how to tell y'all. So like,
I'm not gonna lie, you do seem more like today.
I feel it. Like I feel it coming. Like it's like
Jar. Why did you feel the need to disclose that?
I just want to
let us know.
Cause I feel it, and I'm like,
he needed to name it, so it
wasn't. You know how y'all usually tap and stuff, and I'm like, yo, y'all moving this, like, you know, I'm over here, I'm like spinning my ring, I'm moving, I keep spinning my chest, I'm like.
So you don't
usually,
you good, my boy.
Usually I'm pretty calm, you know.
I'm like, so Jonathan does not have ADHD because those of us that have ADHD, coffee doesn't do that.
Oh yeah, I'm on fire right now.
It makes us focus. hyper focus.
Yeah. Anika says she needs whatever coffee you had.
Facts.
Oh no,
Mm.
I don't know if I want that coffee, bro. That's
No, it's from Bucky's. Hey, listen, let's get back on track, man. Because
Oh,
urgency.
Bucci. I never had Bucci
Buc-ee's?
coffee.
what?
Huh?
Okay. You never seen
Yeah.
that white lady call it Busey's?
Bucci's?
We're at Busey's.
Oh,
No, I haven't. But wait, though, urgency. Cause I took us away. So
You're very urgent right now.
bring us back, Dr. Carissa.
Yeah,
Urgently.
it's me. Okay. Okay, so the next kind of part, let's kind of combine a little bit.
yes.
So
Overtime.
carrying the weight of representation as Black folk, right? Just in any aspect. Doesn't have to be clinically. Just any aspect, kind of carrying the weight of representation, even as somebody who like walks down the street. And the respectability, like being respected as a survival strategy. So how do those two kind of go hand in hand? How don't they? Like what is your experience as a human and then maybe also as a practitioner?
I think it definitely matters where you're at, location wise. Like, John was talking about how he was able to focus on many different Black males. I'm in Kansas, and so sometimes being in those spaces, I'm in predominantly white spaces, and so I can't use and look around and find very many that are like me. I have to create my own identity and push that forward, right? So representation here, feeling like I'm carrying a bunch. I don't like to carry that label because I think it's too heavy for one individual. I would like to think that I'm a light, and I try to find other lights and we can illuminate together. But me trying to feel like I'm carrying all of that is too much, and I think that's ultimately where a lot of breakdown really does happen, is trying to carry on carry that type of baggage, and I don't really do it, but it does. You do feel that occasionally.
I was going
Especially,
to say, do you feel the pressure even if you refuse to carry it? Do you still feel like there's the pressure there?
absolutely. I
Carry
mean,
it?
it's kind of like, the thermostat in the house. It changes a little bit because of the pressure of the outside, but ultimately you have
That's
to
how
be
it
able.
works?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You have to be to change. You said what? You have to be able to regulate yourself and get yourself back on track, regardless of the external external pressures. And so, yeah, for me, being in Kansas, being in these predominantly white spaces, I'm self motivated anyways. But you do feel that sometimes.
I
For
definitely
sure.
feel it in my environment. Environment does matter because I'm in the juvenile justice system, right? So I'm in the position, or my experience has been very diverse. However, though, it's been less clinicians um, of well, it's about even, but it's less male clinicians.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I definitely feel it. Like I am currently looking to pivot in my career from away from Dallas County Juvenile Department. Well, because one, I feel like I learned and did everything there, right?
Yep.
But I hear on a constant basis from my coworkers, from everybody, like, no, representation is needed. These kids need you. They need you. And it's like, they don't need me. It's only so much I can do. Like, I can't carry that weight. I can do
Yeah,
what I do. And it's my job to come in here, challenge them, but to plant the seed. Now, what I say and do, that's for them. And sometimes I can feel it from the residents too, right? Especially when you build a bond or it's someone they can finally trust and talk to before
Yep.
they get released. So it's like, I feel it. However, though,
I heard something when you
I
said that.
have done my job here.
Yeah.
So
When you said that, I heard I need me.
Yes.
facts,
I need me.
facts. And they don't understand that. I have a man, and she loves me. Most of the kids they love me because I talk their language,
Yes.
but she knows that I'm leaving. She kind of lets me know every day, like, hey, these kids need you. These kids need. It's like I understand. I hear you, and if I was to leave, they would be okay.
Yes.
You okay?
They'll be okay. They'll be all right.
But
So
I
they
also
have
think that
another.
goes to show like how rare y'all are.
It is.
Like Black men in the field, even though y'all seek each other out, like y'all are so rare in the actual like places. Like a lot of Black men, if they're in the field, they are entrepreneurs. But like to have a Black male in an agency that's licensed and connects with like the population is very rare because it's draining. It's draining work. But I think that also goes to show like her comment is essentially like, you're a whole unicorn and losing you is going to be a lot. But also, ma'am, calm down because I can't stay here any longer.
And it's
It's
not
like it's
just
always just one
it's
of
like
us
the whole
anymore.
campus. It's like the whole campus, and it'd be like, man, I hear y'all, and I appreciate it. But that also means it's time for someone else to come through.
Yes.
You know, sometimes people don't know like what they say, how it's being received, like because it's really kind of, although it's meant to be a great thing, but it's like come on now, it's not disrespectful, but it's like I don't know, it's just
It's
not
like that.
received the way it should.
Yeah. Like
It's like clean your date. It's a little uncomfortable. It's a little
Yes.
uncomfortable. Like chill out, chill out. Why you just man? Why you get off me? You owe me too much.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
but they don't. I think the intention was like, yeah, we're gonna miss you. Like these kids need you, and we're gonna miss you, and whatever. But like when people say that to, I will say us as Black people, we know, you don't have to hype us up like that. We know, we've been known, but we can't keep carrying that weight. We just can't.
That's interesting. Do y'all all hear that? Because like I was just thinking, like for myself, like you always hear like, "Oh, we need you," like just in everywhere. It's like we need you, and it's like, do y'all all get that as the men?
Yes. Every time I say I'm a therapist, and especially around other women, they light up. Oh my God,
Yeah.
we need you. Oh, so glad to hear. I'm like, okay.
And I think we have to do, and it's that added pressure, right? And so sometimes I feel that added pressure to be like, you know what, I do need to work on something to multiply a platform where I can reach more than what I can individually. And so I do feel that added pressure sometimes because when you do enter these spaces and they've never seen a Black therapist or had a conversation with somebody mental culturally, seeing a Black therapist and being able to have that jargon, but with the cultural element added to it, they don't know how to respond sometimes. And they're like, man, we
Yes.
need much more of this. We really appreciate this. You could do this and you could do that. And you have to decide how much you want on your plate.
And how much you're not going to get paid for it.
Yeah. I'm telling like D
Especially
Rose,
if you're salary.
Yeah, that's real.
I need me.
No. And like kind of going that, Terry, actually kind of leads us, it's a good segue into the next part, which is high alert for misrepresentation and misinterpretation by other people, like non-Black folks, in terms of like, once I reach my capacity and I'm starting to feel burnt out, then emotions start to arise. Not that they haven't before, because we still work in a crazy system. And so think about like how often Black emotional expression is policed or pathologized.
Yeah.
And then having to balance that in your workplace, causing burnout to increase faster probably than a non-Black person. And so like that urgency to say like, I need to manage this fast, like whatever emotion I'm having, so that I'm not seen as unprofessional, or I'm not seen as threatening or angry for Black women, but threatening probably mostly for Black men. I had a supervisee get fired for saying what he needed to say to a white woman, and they fired him for being aggressive.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask. What's up? Because I get for women, you hear the the angry Black woman, right? When it's not really an angry Black woman, but just
Yeah.
What is it for men? Is it aggression?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Aggression.
Still angry Black man.
Huh?
Yeah, just
It's
being
still
Angry black men. It's the same thing, right?
yeah,
Essentially,
same thing.
yeah.
Except there's a physical component attached to it.
Yeah, like
Gotcha.
you're threatening aggression rather than anger. Like,
Yeah.
oh, well, if a black woman gets angry, she's just gonna yell. But if a black man gets angry, he's gonna hit.
He's gonna harm you.
Yeah.
Or there's a conversation that need to be had. They bring extra people. Like, why are they
Yeah.
here? Like to, yeah,
Yes, for real. And
police
like,
the situation, I guess.
it's the pressure to do things correctly, like that we're constantly under, like to do things correctly and really like under the radar, like how we talked earlier, like I think the first session we had or what time we had together, we talked about like being seen and not heard as kids. It's kind of the same way in our work environments. Like be seen or do what you need to do, but don't talk about or don't say anything. Don't be actually like here.
I feel like we don't do that at this point. This group of people, I feel like this is an outspoken.
There was a time.
Oh yeah, there was a time though when the girl was like,
That was
"I
a
just
time.
want to be the best."
Well, we have
No,
language.
that was never that.
We
was-
learned
I've been.
I grew up
I
with
was just,
white people.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. That was my time. That's what I was.
That too.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. I don't see nothing. I don't say
I don't want to
nothing.
get in
Do
trouble.
my job and getting up out of
right
here.
now. I literally tell them, I'm only here so I won't get fined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like conflict. I don't like to get in trouble. Like it was my perfectionism that really drove that.
Yeah.
Well, I had to really learn how to get my words together.
Yep.
Really, because I remember I worked at an engineering firm, probably predominantly white men, and there was just a couple of us scattered around. And I would get up occasionally. I called it the gopher hole because you really didn't see people unless they went up to got up to go to the bathroom. You see a little head pop up here or there, right? And so, I would get up and go to the bathroom occasionally, or walk from sitting too long, and then I got called into the office, the supervisor office, and they were like, "Well, we're noticing that I'm getting complaints that you're walking around the office and you're up a little bit too much." And I'm like, "Okay, all right." And then I go back, and then I get called back in again for the same thing. And then I finally was like, "Hey, if you ever thought to ask yourself why are they so concerned about where I'm at and what I'm doing, or why I'm walking, or why I'm up?" He said, "No." He said, I never thought about that.
Of course you didn't.
Yeah. It's just they're oblivious to their own bias.
Yes.
Man, that make a lot of sense, Terry. I think that's a great thing. I think that's something I've always struggled with, putting the words together.
I think most men struggle with it though.
Yeah.
And so a lot of
because some F-bombs in there a lot. That's why.
Like in the workplace, just I've just I've been I guess
Well,
not a rule follower for a long
Fields,
time.
I was working on that.
It's
sorry.
hard, but I think it's different. It kind of goes back to like the code switching. Like in order to get what I need, I do have to learn the language of the oppressor, because if I don't, then I'm not going to get what I need, and I'm not going to be seen as respected like my colleagues are.
Wow.
But like it's really difficult, and it kind of goes back to or down a little bit further. We're wanting to talk about racial battle fatigue. So not only are we battling the same things people are, average people are battling, there also comes that component in fighting the racial battle. But you can't opt out. You can't opt out of the racial battle because you're never going to not be a Black-bodied person. And so it's like, how do I keep going in my career and in my profession as a Black-bodied person so that even though the world and all the pressures around it exist, I don't have to let those in. I don't have to, absorb that. I don't have to internalize that. And I think that is how everybody in this room has gotten to the points that we're at. We've had to shut out the noise and kind of go inward and be like, well, what do I have control of? And how do I present myself in a way that feels authentic to me, but also the world sees as respected and as, X, Y, and Z, put whatever word you want to put in there. Because earlier, I can't remember who said it. Was it Darian? They're never going to pay me my worth. Was that Brandon?
No, I think
Oh, okay. Darian said they're never going to pay me my worth. And that's just true. We as Black folks are always going to do things at the next level, not because we want to, but because we have to.
Mm.
And so our worth is already above everybody else in terms of what we can provide, because we always have to be thinking that way.
Like we have no average, you know. It's like we
No.
like already like we're great. Like off top, you just doing what you think is average.
I often have to tell my clients, like my Black-bodied clients, like, I need you to really tap into your like mediocre cis white male energy right now. Like, you're doing a lot and you don't need to be, and it feels like you do because of that sense of urgency. But like, what would Tom do in this situation at your job? You know, like, what is it that's different, you know, from your way of like being internally? Pretend like you're not going to get fired. Like, what does your body need? How are you regulating, you know, yourself? But
I mean, I hear that. I hear that 100%. You know what I'm saying? What would a mediocre white person say in this situation?
That's hard.
Or do in this situation?
And that's not me saying do it. Don't do it. But
just
like,
be aware.
Just be aware and like clock yourself so that it's not feeling like this overperformance or this overcapacity or this urgency to do what you don't want to do in the first place. Like, bring it down. And like, one of the things before we close out, because I'm aware of the time, really trying to one regulation practice that you use regularly. Is there something that y'all regulate yourself with regularly?
Yes. For me, I just it is a kind of like a question, or perhaps even a series of questions. So especially when it comes to like being overwhelmed, or you feel like you want to say something and you not sure if you should say something. I learned this from some newsletter. I can't remember. But anyway, the question is like, does this need to be said? Does this need to be said by me? And does this need to be said by me right now? So that kind of helps you with the time and place aspect of things. So, hey, do you need to say this? Yes or no? Okay, if it's a yes, okay, cool. Next question. Does this need to be said? Yes or no? Okay, does it need to be said by you? Yes or no? And if so, do you need to say it right now, or can we wait until we're not having a party, you know what I'm saying, celebrating such and such? Can we wait till we get home? Can we wait till we do something, you know, before you decide to say whatever it is that's on your mind?
I love
that. Love that. For me, I think I've done a lot of studying with the polyvagal theory and how it controls the nervous system and the fight or flight responses. And so I've picked up a little of everything. The deep breathing is probably one of the strongest that you can do. Double breathing. People can find a lot of that stuff on YouTube, but inhaling through your nose 4 seconds, exhaling out your mouth 8 seconds, journaling. This type of stuff will help you regulate yourself and your nervous system. But the deep breathing is probably one of the biggest things that people can carry with them, and do it in a room full of people and no one knows what you're doing.
Yes. I will also caveat that as somebody who's been pregnant 3 times. If you are a pregnant person and listening to this, please make sure that those breathing techniques are approved by a medical person. Your oxygen is not the same as a not pregnant person. So
appreciate that.
There you go. I think like regulation, especially in urgency, outside of like heart attack symptoms or stroke symptoms, everything can wait 10 minutes. So I learned that from my wife. It's like, it doesn't matter what's going on. A response, you can wait 10 minutes. Whatever you got to do, it can wait 10 minutes. So that's something that I use in my life, because I don't feel like I need to jump right at it, right? It gives me time to think about it. I might change my mind or whatever. Another thing that just works for me personally is walking outside. I don't know why. If I walk outside and just stand there for a little bit, just take the sun in, that's all I need.
Heck yeah.
Sensory
And a
grounding.
vitamin D.
Sounds
Yeah.
like sensory grounding.
Also, too, it's just like literal grounding.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
you just have to be out and like your feet
Sounds nice.
touching ground. Like
Do y'all ever
I'm
just
outside
lay
type of
down?
guy.
Yeah. I just walk outside, bro. I just walk outside and like just sit there. But do y'all ever just lay down? You ever just like
yeah,
lay
like
down and do nothing? Like just
Not,
close.
not,
I like
not
to close, not
outside.
sleep. Just no, not outside. Just in the house. Like okay. So before I go to sleep at nighttime, I just like to lay there. Like I don't want nothing on. I just want to lay there and like just I don't know what I'm doing, but I just like to lay there.
I do progressive muscle relaxation.
Oh, that's good too.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a
These
good
parts
one.
of your body, starting with your toes all the way up to your head. And so I
Yeah.
do times when I lay down.
I
do
like
that.
that too.
Yeah.
That also
Yeah.
helps relieve like any like restless leg or body that I have. Like that also, because sometimes my mind just keeps going, and so then my body doesn't. That helps a lot.
I couldn't do it right now with this Bucky's coffee. There's no way.
No, you don't even try. You
Hey,
just
Bucky's got that
slowly
strong.
I guess so.
It's a little crack in there.
If y'all can't sleep, man, stop at Bucky's and get you right.
The gas
Truck
station
drivers.
coffee. That's what it is. It's gas station coffee. That's
Another
what
one I might add out here, Dr. K, is just I call it brain dumping.
Oh yeah.
Getting a piece of paper, just writing all your thoughts out at night before you go to bed takes it from your psycho into your psyche into onto paper. And it really does a lot to relax your mind.
And if you do that right when you wake up in the morning, before you do anything else, stinking breath and everything, just brain dump, and it actually clears your mind for the day and actually enhances creativity.
I haven't done it in the morning. I might have to try that.
Mhm.
Also, cursing helps.
Yes.
It's scientifically it reduces your feeling of pain when people who curse, and also a sign of intelligence. People who curse.
Yes.
Have y'all seen
That's why women cuss when they give birth. People that birth children, they cuss when they give birth.
True that. Have y'all seen the cussing meditation thing like on YouTube? It's like
No, but I'm about to go look at it immediately.
like a leaded
No.
meditation, but it's like just all cuss words.
Really?
Like, I
Oh
don't know
my
what it's called, but
God.
y'all look it up.
Yes.
It's like grown folks meditation. But it's like F this. like whatever.
Okay.
I'm just gonna look.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna look that up too.
For real.
Yeah.
Man, we grown
Yeah.
now. We can cuss. We can cuss now. I mean, ain't nobody gonna say nothing to you.
Yeah.
You need
And
to
that
look-
works for people because some people don't want to hear the meditation, relax your body and all that. They don't want to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck them
I
people.
don't.
That shit feel
I
good
cuss.
saying that.
Yeah.
I cuss a lot.
I'll check that out.
But anyway,
I'm PG-13. I always got kids around, so I got PG-13.
that's probably why my kid says the F word sometimes.
Yeah, maybe. It's okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Maybe
great.
correlation.
In context. Okay, the last thing everybody's gonna say this before we log off. This first of all, guys, thank you. This is always so great. I love spending this time of the month with y'all. But one thing that we're taking away, or that we're gonna give ourselves permission. So I give myself permission to what?
Ooh. I give myself permission to be me. To be me.
I got one that goes with the thing, with what we talked the topic today. But I give myself permission to take my time.
Yes.
Love that.
Yeah. Tia, how are you still in here?
I just said that. She said, should read it.
She took mine.
Dr. T says, I give myself permission to do what I want to do.
Yes.
She kind of took mine, but yeah, I like that.
Exactly.
Oh shoot.
You
people can have the same answer. It's not, yeah.
Yeah, I give myself permission to continue to be my authentic self and go for what I want.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's the best way to do it.
I give myself permission to allot grace to myself.
Love that.
But yeah, again, thanks y'all, and we'll do this again in a month or whatever.
Whatever.
I look
All
forward
right.
to
run
it.
it? You gonna run it again?
I appreciate these.
We'll run
Me
this
too.
back next month.
Hopefully the people watching, I can't never see who watching and who not, but hopefully they're getting something out of it for sure.
Absolutely.
They be commenting. So
And next time they need to bring 3 people.
huh?
This is
Yeah,
MLM.
we gotta.
This is MLM. They got to bring 3 people, and then they got to bring each
Yes.
bring 3 people.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
worry, we won't pass around no
Collection plate.
collection plate. You just gotta bring
Close
shut
the
the door.
doors.
Shut the door.
Yeah, close the
the
doors.
door.
Bring me your tax return. Bring your tax returns. Y'all playing on the
Yo, we're not supposed to re-traumatize people.
Y'all about
right,
to go get
y'all.
this food, man.
All right, man.
Have a good
All right.
Yeah, I'm
weekend.
sorry.